Welcome in live to Glory Days Grill for a special edition of Inside Seminole Basketball. I'm excited to talk all things women's basketball here at Florida State. I'm your host, Jack Kavovit, and boy, do we got a good show in store for you tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out and joining us on this Monday evening. And hey, without further ado, let's get a warm welcome and a round of applause for your head coach of the Noles, Brooke Wyckoff.
Hey, Jack.
How we doing, Coach?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, I got to start by asking you how it feels to be home after a trip for a week to the West Coast, and now you come home and you get 2 wins versus Clemson and Miami. How are you feeling?
I feel great. It was quite an adventure going out west, as we knew it would be. It was a huge learning experience and a great just opportunity to grow. Yeah. And that's what we had to do out there, and I love how we came back, and this week at home has been really, really good. Yeah,
and talking about this weekend, especially Alumni Weekend. Alumni yourself, of course, almost 40 alumni in attendance for the win yesterday. How special was that to see all them coming out to watch?
It's always so special. Yes, it's near and dear to my heart, obviously, as an alumni, but just to see the support from decades now of players that have come through this program and still just love it, care so much. It's so special for our current players to see that. And, everyone had a great time.
Yeah, and so we'll recap that game yesterday versus Miami, an 88-66 win. Now, if you were there, perfect from 3, also a block and a steal to go with it. You can see some of her highlights from yesterday's game right there. T-Time was cooking yesterday. Again, another 30-point performance for her. But, Coach, what can you say about that time from her?
Oh, what can you say? I mean, it was so fun to see her put together another great performance. But what I loved is, just the things that she did on the defensive end that led to what she was able to do and what our team was able to do on the offensive end. That's when Tanaya is at her best, when she's putting together those defensive to offensive possessions, and that's where our team is at their best. So she did that a lot last night, and it led to another amazing performance and another ACC Player of the Week award today.
Yeah, pretty darn impressive. That from Tanaya last. And something else I want to tell you too, Coach, talking about Alumni Weekend and Tanaya, you have an former alumni on your staff, Morgan Tolles, who before was one of 8 Noles to have 2 games with 10-plus assists in a season. Now this year, Tanaya joins her, one of 9, so pretty good company to be in right there.
Great company. You got to love that when your current players have an example on the staff of like Morgan Tolles and just everything that who she is and the player that she was, the coach that she is, and to see one of our current players do that. And it's a really special time. It makes me just really, really happy.
Yeah, and hey, sticking with Tanaya too, from the shooting performance, 5 of 5 from 3. That's a career high for her, but also perfect in that career high. Did not miss a 3-pointer. How about her growth from that side of her game? Last year shot 27% from behind the arc. This year, after that performance, up to 47%. So that adds a whole nother layer to her game.
It does. It's really scary. I would hate to be, on the other side having to figure out how to defend that. But, she said it last night in the press conference. It's coming from her confidence, and really in her 3rd year as a college basketball player, she's seeing things even better out there. She's got an amazing basketball IQ, but and really letting the game come to her. And so she's stepping up and shooting great shots. She's shooting it with confidence. And we see the results, and I'm really proud of her for her growth in that area.
Yeah, especially you've seen it over the last couple of games where teams are really focusing in on her, the nation's leading scorer, and that's something that I'm sure she's had to adjust to as well.
Yeah, she's dealt with this kind of thing since her freshman year, just being, a prolific scorer. Other teams are constantly game planning for you. That's a lot to take on, but like I said, she's taken it all in stride, and in her 3rd year now, it's really fun to see how she understands the game even more. She sees things even more clearly and is taking great shots and scoring a lot.
Yeah, scoring a lot, absolutely. Coach, another player for you too, Omaria Gordon. You look at yesterday's performance, got into a little bit of foul trouble. I think she had 4 assists through maybe the first couple minutes of the game. But just all throughout this season in her career, she's top 5 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio. When you talk about a senior leader, veteran that can take care of the ball and find her teammates, how special is that?
Yeah, she does that so well. She's always had that as, the priority of her game since she came here. But what she's doing so well this year is she's attacking. She's got a scorer's mindset. And when she does that, she's able to see where she can also facilitate, and she draws multiple defenders. She's able to get her teammates the ball, and so she's just a complete player, and she never takes a possession off. She plays great defense, except, she got a little bit of foul trouble last night. That was unfortunate, but she works so hard. I'm just so proud of how she's filling up the entire stat sheet this season.
Yeah, and especially when you're playing next to someone like Tanaya Latson and, of course, KK Timpson, who we'll hear from later on tonight, right? Sometimes you don't always get that spotlight, but I feel like you notice with O that she handles it so well, and she just lets her play speak for itself.
She does. She's very unselfish. She's about our team first and wants to win and wants to do whatever is needed to win. And so she is content to play her role, and she's such an important piece to what we do. And yes, because she plays with two other amazing players, sometimes she gets overshadowed a little bit, but that takes nothing away from what she contributes and what she's able to do on the floor.
Yeah, and always fun to watch too. I always joke during our radio broadcast, when she gets in her bag, it's always a good time, and it always leads to some good points for this team. Another player from that game, Hayani Dos Santos. I think this is someone that I've been talking to you a lot recently. 27 minutes for her, the most that she's played. I've noticed that you've been getting her out there more and more, and of course she made the transition from junior college now to D1. What has she been doing to gain your trust, and what have you loved from what you've been seeing out on the floor?
First and foremost, Hayani just stays ready. And she's been called upon, like last night, to play a lot of minutes, and then there's games where she's barely played at all. And her demeanor never changes. Her response never changes. She's always ready to go. She usually comes in the game and makes an impact right away. And that's what I love about her. On the offensive and defensive end, she can impact the game. She's a really talented defender, good shooter, and now that she's understanding our system, understanding this level a little bit more, you've seen her be able to get more and more playing time because she impacts. Yeah,
and you see the confidence for sure out on the floor with a lot of the plays that she's making. So that's just segment one right there. Also, Inside Seminole Basketball is brought to you in part by ABC 27. Get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and watch local news and weather on your time. So segment one is down. So much more in store tonight here at Glory's Day Grill. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and coming out to support. More on the way after this break.
Welcome to Truist, the bank that starts with care and the student banking partner of Florida State University. And now, Truist is the official retail bank of Florida State Athletics. They're proud to join a passionate fan base, empower our student athletes, and to support our community. Because when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank and a different kind of partnership. Thank you, Truist, for this exciting partnership with Florida State Athletics.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Hey Seminole fans, this is Jeff Culhane, voice of Florida State men's basketball. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Who wouldn't want to have that at night? Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State Athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminoles.
Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. This is Inside Seminole Basketball. Let's rejoin Jack Kavovit.
Welcome back into Inside Seminole Basketball, live on a nice Monday night inside Glory Days Grill. Maybe it's nice, but it's a little bit chilly. We got the cold front coming through. I never expected that I would see that in Tallahassee, but it really was not cold yesterday in the Tucker Center. You talk about a lot of the things that happened. I can't start and look no further than KK Timpson, the career double-double record now at Florida State. How impressive is that? A round of applause for her and that achievement right there. I mean, boy, just everything that comes with that, Coach. You just talk about that moment in game. I think that was so special to watch. It was both you and her embrace and hug, and the whole staff and players, and especially the crowd cheering on. Just how amazing was that moment?
Well, it was really amazing because not only were we just so happy for what KK had achieved, but we just love who she is. And that's where that emotion comes from, is that she is literally the player that you want to be around every single day as a coach, as a teammate, the person you want to be around. So to see her achieve something like that is so momentous. I was just so proud of her and so proud and excited to be part of the moment with her.
I love to be able to see the replay right there
of
again, you guys share that hug at center court. So cool to see. And again, congratulations to KK for all those. I got to be a part of that game yesterday. But I think something that's also so special, Coach, is the number that she's wearing, 21, and this is something we've talked about too. I love to go back through that story of how, you're number up in the rafters right now, and KK comes to Tallahassee and gets to rep the 21 as well in the garnet and gold.
Oh, I was so excited when she said she wanted to be 21. She was 21 in high school, and I was so glad it was available for her to continue to wear, because I know how special it is to me. But just to see somebody represent that number so well, and I've told her so much that I want her name and that to be up there in the rafters as well alongside of mine, or I'll give her that banner up there, because she's earned it. She's done so many amazing things, and she's still got stuff to do before she leaves us. So I'm just proud of her.
I love that. You pretty much spoke it into existence almost. It feels like that's on the horizon as well for such a fantastic player. But Coach, again, a 2-0 week for your team. Of course, the win versus Miami and a win versus Clemson. After that return back from the West Coast, what was your message to your team to get them rallied up and ready, and of course put out the performances that they did?
Yeah, well, we talked a lot after that week. There were a lot of things to just regroup, and that's what you need to do after a trip like that, after, two rough games. You have to regroup and first of all, just remind ourselves, our staff and our players, like how good we actually are. This is a great basketball team. We had a couple bumps in the road out in California, but that doesn't change who we are. Now, there was some things we needed to do better, so we talked about that. And what I love is that I have a group of players that are locked in. They believe, and they know also, they're very self-aware that there's things they need to do better. They took ownership of it. They locked into it. We had great practices leading up to Clemson, and and you saw the results. Yeah. So it was a very productive week, not only just with the wins, but just how we were able to respond to that rough moment out in California.
Yeah, and talk about that response in the first game versus Clemson, 82-67. Your team won that. You saw compared the first 10 minutes of that game to how they were able to end in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we're just every team in the ACC presents a new challenge. It's great players. Every coach has a game plan for us, and we can't just win these games on our talent alone. That doesn't work anymore. It's not the non-conference. So there's always a little bit of an adjustment period. Obviously, we're working on starting stronger, but this team, I know with our experience, with who we are, I know that even if we have a little bit of a rough start, we're going to figure it out and make it a great game.
Yeah, and a player that I have seen start figuring it out more, finding her shot, is Sydney Bowles. What an amazing player that you brought into this team this year, and has moved into the starting lineup over the last couple of games as well. Now she's made at least 2 3-pointers in each of her last 3 games, so she's starting to shoot better. You've seen those flashes from her. How important has she been to this squad?
She's been huge, and just her being able to step up and do whatever's asked of her, come off the bench, start, just just find her way on a new team after being somewhere else for 2 years. She's really showed a lot of poise and just, again, her character, who she is, and just her abilities have really been great. And she stayed the course through some highs and lows throughout the season. And, yeah, she's shooting it great right now, and we love that.
Yeah, another transfer that shot it pretty dang good last game, Malaya Williams, who you look back to her season this year, maybe had the best game of her career here at Florida State in November versus Florida. 11 rebounds, 7 of those offensive, was a huge impact in that rivalry win, then got hurt, missed some time, but is now returned. And when you talk about that process, that she had to get back and is now playing, how great has it been to have Leia back into the rotation?
It's been great. It's been so nice just to have all 12 players, available, that first and foremost. But Malaya brings so many great things that we missed, a little bit when she was gone. It's her length, it's her rebounding ability, it's her ability to shoot the three. And so to add that back in, especially, now when we're deep into ACC, we need every rebound we can get, every block shot, every change shot at the rim. She brings all of that, and she's knocking down threes from the outside as well. So being that threat, it's really nice to be able to rely on her again. Yeah,
that's a season high for her, 3 of 5 from three-point land. So pretty impressive performance from her. But talking still about Malaya, and also kind of this could go to maybe a Mariana Valenzuela, when you have a 4 or 5 player that can stretch it out and shoot the three, what that does for your offense to be able to space and score.
Yeah, it's huge. When you have those 3-point threats out there, I mean, all of these players that you just mentioned, the defense has to think about them. And so when you have these prolific penetrators like we do in Tanaya and Omaria and the other players that are able to penetrate every little inch of space that we can get because they've got to think about 3-point shooters is really a great advantage. So that's why we love to see Malaya step up and knock their identity. It's different than a lot of places, and it's a different way of playing. And so for new players to come in and take it all in and then be able to perform, it is a journey, and so that's what you love to see at this time of year. It really start to come together, the experience, the confidence that comes from just the reps from months, day after day, month after month. Now this is when we see that come to fruition.
Yeah, so much work that's being put in behind the scenes that so many don't see, and here we are getting into crunch time in the season. So Inside Seminole Basketball is also brought to you in part by SV Vodka, introducing the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. SV Vodka, crafted for a smooth taste. SV Vodka is 100% vegan, perfect for those who value purity in every sip. Experience the unique blend of tradition and innovation with SV Vodka, the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. So on the other side, some more talk from Sunday's performances, a couple other records that were broken that I'm excited to talk about with you. On the other side, we'll be back after this break.
Welcome to Truist, the bank that starts with care and the student banking partner of Florida State University. And now, Truist is the official retail bank of Florida State Athletics. They're proud to join a passionate fan base, empower our student athletes, and to support our community. Because when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank and a different kind of partnership. Thank you, Truist, for this exciting partnership with Florida State Athletics.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Hey, Seminole fans, this is Jeff Culhane, voice of Florida State men's basketball. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Who wouldn't want to have that at night? Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State Athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminoles.
FSU Athletics is self-supported and isn't funded by tax dollars. Because of this, we rely on fans to join Seminole Booster so your teams have the best possible chance to achieve success on and off the court. Seminole Booster membership starts at $5 per month and comes with great membership benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more or join. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. So our third segment here inside Seminole basketball, joined with head coach Brooke Wyckoff. We've had a lot to talk about just from two games in this past week, and we're still talking about yesterday's game now. Miami, another record, 18 three-pointers.
Yep.
18?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I mean, a single game record for threes. Yeah, how about a round of applause for that again? I feel like, Coach, it's just been a season between players and this team that you're approaching a couple records for the program, and individually, it's pretty darn special.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just a testament to how hard these players have worked and how much they have bought into who we want to be. We love breaking records, but we have bigger things in mind. But when you see those kind of milestones, it means that things are going in the right direction. We're putting in the work that we need to be successful.
Yeah, now 13th in the nation as a team with 9.6 three-pointers made per game. Also 24th in three-point percentage at 36%. So pretty impressive numbers right there. I mean, I got to ask you, you got to 18. You got to 15 earlier in the season, 18 yesterday. Can we get to 20?
Let's go. Let's do it. We're going to keep shooting. So let's see if they'll go down.
Yeah, and I feel like we can't talk about three-point shooting without Carla Villegas. I mean, she has been an absolute sniper from beyond the arc. She had 3+ threes in both games at home this week. And we just talk about how she's grown as a player and the comfort level that she's starting to feel here in her second year at Florida State.
Yeah, she has done a phenomenal job. And again, even when Carla isn't shooting the ball, she's creating space for us. And so her role is so important. We love seeing those three-pointers go down, and I'm so proud of her for, it's tough on a shooter. You got to shoot no matter. You got to be able to get the ball up. Everybody knows you're going to shoot. You're seeing really tight defense, and Carla has an amazing shot that she's able to get it off, even when she's got someone in her face. But you got to keep shooting whether it's going in or not. It's important for our team, and she's done just that, and she's stayed the course. And, yeah, we've seen some good ones go down lately. It's been really fun. Yeah,
it's been good. And when you look at the past couple of games and the defense that you're having to face, and you're seeing a mix of man, some mix of zone, a lot of new things. How does this offense have to stay consistent to be able to beat both looks on the floor?
Well, we've got to continue to play at our pace as best we can, and that's tough when teams are game planning for you. They're getting back in transition so that we see a lot of players ready to defend us in transition. But we've got to continue to go at our pace, and that starts with our guards and Tanaya and Omaria. And we've got to look, to get the ball to the paint. We got to get it to KK, despite seeing maybe a different defense every time down the floor. And so it's that mix of understanding what you're facing, but also just playing. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to find and strike that balance. But our players have stayed the course through any frustration, in the last couple of games in terms of trying to figure it out. And we've done just that.
Yeah, and you bring up the pace of this team. Clearly, over the last few years, of course, how fast this team plays up and down the floor. And when you're talking about such an explosive offense, how do you find the balance between the strategies of just offense but then defense as well?
Yeah, we got to work on it. We got to be in shape for it. We've got to have the right mindset for it. And so these players have really locked into doing that, buying in to doing that, even when it's been tough. And so our defense was put in place with creating even more possessions for us offensively. We put in the defense so we could score more points. But it takes a lot of work, and you are creating more possessions, which means you're running more up and down the floor. And so, again, we are built for it, but that mindset, that decision to do that every day in practice and in games, it's not easy. Yeah. But I'm just so proud of our leadership and our players that have done that, and how they're continuing to progress and grow in that.
Yeah, and as they've progressed and grown, do you feel like there's an area that this team has grown the most since day one of the season?
Yeah, I think they've really just leaned into trusting pressure, trying to create turnovers, getting steals. It's scary to just be up and pressuring somebody knowing that they might drive by you. But that's what we've asked them to do. We've asked them to be disruptive and to really just put themselves out there to make things tough for the other team. And so they've done that. We're getting a ton of steals, creating a lot of turnovers, and so that's been really fun to see those stats, those results.
It's been fun to watch too.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, I enjoy it every game.
Good.
Front row seats
yes,
here too, so no complaints for me. But even off the floor too, Coach. When you're talking about just the team as a whole, how do you foster the chemistry on and off the floor and things that you have to do? Because every time you watch this team, I love the energy that I see, especially from the bench and those that aren't in the game, reacting to their teammates, hitting big shots and just creating big plays.
Yeah. I really have to credit the players. Again, as a coach, I can tell them, and we can try to tell them how important chemistry is. Hey guys, you got to be a great team, but they're the ones that have to go do that. They have to build that, and it started in the off season, right after last season ended. The players that were returning, we had 8 of them returning. They committed to that. They said, yes, we can get better. We can get to know each other better. We can build more chemistry. We can be more united. And they worked on it and started with our captains, with KK, Tanaya, and O, really embracing that and bringing along everyone with them. And then when we added the 4 new ones, bring them into the fold. Those 4 new ones came in ready to do that, to dive into getting to know their teammates and building chemistry. So I give them all the credit, and you're seeing, just we've built a foundation, and so you can build on that. As long as we have that, I feel great as a coach.
Yeah, the togetherness. It's so great. It really is great to see. Well, one more segment coming up with Coach Brooke Wyckoff. We will talk about what's to come in ACC play in the next game on the docket. Stick with us here inside Seminole Basketball. We'll be back after this break.
Welcome to Truist, the bank that starts with care, and the student banking partner of Florida State University. And now, Truist is the official retail bank of Florida State Athletics. They're proud to join a passionate fan base, empower our student athletes, and to support our community. Because when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank and a different kind of partnership. Thank you, Truist, for this exciting partnership with Florida State Athletics.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sights, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotel.
Welcome back in, everyone. A Monday night at Glory Days Grill inside Seminole basketball. I'm Jack Kavovit with head coach Brooke Wyckoff, talking all things women's basketball here at Florida State. Well, Coach, we're going to look a little bit ahead now. Talk ACC, talk your next game on the road this Sunday. That brings us to our Scott and Wallace Keys to Success. Scott and Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics. Scott and Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. We look ahead to North Carolina on Sunday. On the road, saw this team last year. Boy, what a stretch of games it was between UNC and Virginia Tech. Two ranked wins at home. Now you go on the road to face North Carolina. What are your keys to this one on Sunday?
Well, North Carolina, as you said, is a really good basketball team, and we're going to their place. So anytime we go on the road in the ACC, we've got to be ready to up our level and really bring it. And so UNC is a great defensive team. That's one of the things that they're best at the country in. They don't allow a lot of points. We like to score a lot of points. So we're going to have that mindset that I talked about earlier, that no matter what, we're going to continue to attack at our pace. And then they have a really balanced team in terms of they're all capable scorers. We're going to have to be ready to make it a team thing and shut a number of their players down on the defensive end. Yeah,
you say score a lot of points. Still the second scoring offense in the country is your group. Again, really, really impressive. And talk about going on the road, just how tough it is to not just go out away, but also win and come and bring that back home.
Yeah, the ACC, I think, is the best women's basketball conference in the country, and it's just because you're going to these storied arenas. UNC, we're going to Carmichael, and we all know just the history there, and it's so fun to play these games. But again, you have to be ready, and I'm just so grateful for KK Timpson, Omari Gordon, Tanai Latson. They've all gone there and they've won there. So that gives me a lot of confidence going in that we will be mentally ready because we've been there, done that, but we got to bring it. We've got to work really hard to get this one.
Yeah, and not even just North Carolina, ranked opponents throughout the rest of your schedule. And as you say, that's just what comes with the ACC.
Yeah.
So much talent all around, 5 to 6 ranked opponents most likely for the rest of the year. When you talk about just how important those games are as we creep closer to the madness of March.
Yeah, they're huge. And that's what I say pretty much every week to the team. It's like, hey, we have another opportunity. And that's the good news. No matter what we just did, whether it's win or lose or however we played, in the ACC, you always have another opportunity in front of you. So you got to be ready. You got to have a short memory. Again, we can't rest on our laurels and think we've done something. We can't get too down if things haven't gone our way. We've got to be ready. And that's what I love about this conference. There's always another opportunity right around the corner to get one of those great wins that'll help you in March.
Yep, got to be a goldfish. Quickly forget and move on move on to the next one. And I've seen that with your team during games too this year. Third quarter success has been incredible. And that's one thing you talked to me earlier on in the season, changing that routine as you come out for the second half. But really, Coach, just that quarters where your team's performed the best this season, is that a good feeling regardless of the score at the half, knowing you're going to come back out the final 20 and hopefully start it on a pretty good note?
Absolutely. And again, I have to credit just the maturity of our team and their ability to, just refocus and be self-aware and just lean into, okay, these are the adjustments we need to make. These are the things we need to do better. And they're able to go out and do it. And they never give up. I've never seen this team give up. And they've always had just such a great response. So I love how they're able to do that. I would definitely love to be able to play a full 4 quarters. I'm not saying that. I would love to start great every single quarter and finish great. But knowing that about this team just gives you a lot of confidence as a coach. Yeah,
and see it right there on the schedule. It's North Carolina on Sunday, and then on the road to Boston College following that. So 2 road games, and then back to take on Wake Forest, where that's the next home game on February 2nd versus Wake Forest, a koozie giveaway, also Paint It Pink night as well. So much to support and come out for that one. Again, the next game after that will be February 9th versus NC State, a T-shirt giveaway there as well. So come out, support the ladies. They love to hear you. I love to hear it too. When the tuck's packed and loud, it just makes for a great environment for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and another thing with this team, Coach, that I've been seeing more and more this year is at the free throw line.
Yeah.
And 7th in the nation, this team is, as a team, shooting at the free throw stripe. Just how important is that to know that when you're going to get those free shots, you're hopefully going to make them. But also, when you get into crunch time and down the stretch where these games get closer and you feel like they're decided in those last few minutes, that's where the free throws really come more into play.
They do. And, man, I love that you just reminded me that we're 7th in the nation in free throw shooting, because I think we can be better free throw shooters. I know what these girls are capable of. But, no, I mean, to be able to step up and KK and O and Tanai are asked to do it every single game, step up and hit big ones. I give them so much credit for the poise that they have, the confidence that they have to be able to get to the line first and foremost, because it's not easy to get a foul call these days in the ACC. So to get to the line and then to step up and knock them down they do that over and over and over again. But I know they can do even better, and I know they're holding themselves to an even higher standard. So hopefully we'll move up those rankings.
Yes, and I would bet on that too. I could definitely be seeing that happen. Hey, Inside Seminole Basketball also brought to you by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and carries even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering and care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Hey, the next break, the next segment coming up, we'll hear from our guest this evening, KK Timpson. Round of applause for her and so much more. We'll have a fun chat for 2 segments here on Inside Seminole Basketball. Stick with us. We'll be back after this break.
Seminole fans, this is Jeff Culhane, voice of Florida State men's basketball. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Who wouldn't want to have that at night? Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State Athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminoles.
Welcome to Truist, the bank that starts with care, and the student banking partner of Florida State University. And now, Truist is the official retail bank of Florida State Athletics. They're proud to join a passionate fan base, empower our student athletes, and to support our community. Because when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank and a different kind of partnership. Thank you, Truist, for this exciting partnership with Florida State Athletics.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Hey, welcome back into Glory Days Grill. I'm Jack Kavovit, now joined with our special guest of the evening. Let's get a round of applause again for KK Timpson. Well, KK, I feel like you know where I'm going to start right now. I talked to your head coach about it before. The most career double-doubles in program history now. You heard me say it before, 21, your number, plus 21, 42, true double-double. Hey, maybe I'm reaching a little bit right there. But just talk to me about what that meant for you, and just the moment you got to share with your head coach, your team, and then everything from the fans as you left the game for that brief moment.
I'll just say it was just so special just to do it, here at Florida State University. It's just been incredible my 4 years here, and just to do it in front of this amazing people and the amazing crowd in front of my family. Like, it just meant so much to me, and like, I'm just grateful to be here. And like, I still can't believe the moment I was in yesterday.
Yeah, right. Did you know on the bucket that got your 10 points in the double-double, did you know that was the one that you needed to get for the double-double?
Yeah, after the Clemson game, my dad, he called me. He was like, you just got one more to break it. That's all you got to do is just break it. And then everybody else was just telling me, just break it. And Tasha told me, just go and break it. So that's what I did, and I'm just grateful to be able to do it.
No, it's unbelievable to watch, KK. Just your whole career, how much you've improved since your time here in Tallahassee. Of course, talking with your head coach before, when you asked to wear that number and the conversation that you had. And, of course, here you are now. And I want to talk about your game and that improvement that you had. But we'll start with your scoring ability, where you feel like you've really improved in that area this year, averaging the most points that you've ever averaged in your career.
Mm-hmm. I would say, just being aggressive, going and putting the ball in the basket, being able to tell the guards, hey, give me the ball, I'm open and stuff like that. But, they trust me, and being able to score around the rim is very important, just knocking down those free throws. That's been a big improvement to my game as well, being 75%, above 75% in free throw shooting. So that's been great, just got to keep going.
Yeah, and, of course, we're talking double-doubles. You get the scoring, but you also get the rebounding as well. Take me through the mentality that you have to be able to bring down those rebounds, and not just on the defensive side, but the offensive side. You're 9th in the country with 4.5 offensive rebounds per game, and that's always huge to be able to give your team an extra possession.
Yeah, I would just say, I just go get the ball. That's all I say. I'm just hungry to go get the ball and go get those extra baskets that I could put in the goal. So I just go get them, get as much as I can. My coaches have been challenging me to get more every game, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and from your freshman year, 6.5 points per game, just over 3 rebounds per game, to now this year, 16.5 points per game, 11 rebounds per game. And as your head coach said, you still got time. So pretty impressive improvement and just overall performances from you here. But not just the scoring and the rebounding, KK. Blocks, defense. Boy, I love seeing you stuff someone coming down the lane. When you just talk about that, being able to block the ball, you're second in the country in blocks per game, in total blocks, and you're on pace right now for over 100 this season. You're going to break as many blocks as you had before in a season in your career. Take me through that and just being able to defend down low.
I would just say, it just comes with defense, being able to be that rim protector that my team needs, coming over and helping. Even when I may not feel like I just come over and help. And, I love to jump, so I just try to jump up as high as I can to block the shot. So I love coming over and helping, just being effective for my team.
Yeah. Blocking, also stealing as well. You're stuffing the stat sheet as a lot of your teammates are this season. But when I bring up all of those, KK, do you feel like there's a specific area that you've grown the most since your freshman year here in Tallahassee?
I would say just overall in all areas of my life, everything. I can't even say, anything specific, but I just say everything.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. We got one more segment coming up with KK Timpson. Again, Inside Seminole Basketball is brought to you by Carver's Discount Cleaners, Mean on Stains, and Green on Earth. Try new Eco Green Dry Cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners, 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown. All right, one more segment coming up. Well, KK will talk stuff on the floor and off the floor. Thanks for sticking with us here on Inside Seminole Basketball. We're back after this timeout.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sights, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Hey, Seminole fans, this is Jeff Culhane, voice of Florida State men's basketball. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Who wouldn't want to have that at night? Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State Athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminoles.
Welcome to Truist, the bank that starts with care, and the student banking partner of Florida State University. And now, Truist is the official retail bank of Florida State Athletics. They're proud to join a passionate fan base, empower our student athletes, and to support our community. Because when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank and a different kind of partnership. Thank you, Truist, for this exciting partnership with Florida State Athletics.
Coming up, more Inside Seminole Basketball. Here's Jack Kavovit.
Back here at Glory Days Grill, still joined with KK Timpson for a special edition of Inside Seminole Basketball, who's also brought to you in part by Grassroots Coffee. Florida State Athletics would like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State basketball. Order from Grassroots Coffee for your home or business today at grassrootscoffee.com, or find it at a store, restaurant, or coffee shop near you. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. Thank you, Grassroots Coffee. Well, all right, KK, one more segment up here on Inside Seminole Basketball. I got to talk to you a little bit more about your team, just how much fun that you've had playing with this group this season.
I just been excited ever since day one when we started in the summer. You know, we was all learning, even though we had 4 new players. Though we all learned our new defense, and like we just been close ever since. Like being able to hang out with each other, and it's just real genuine relationship that I have with them, and I'm just so special for it.
Yeah. How about yesterday, seeing your team knock down those 18 3-pointers? You got one in your career. Yeah. I don't know if you were thinking about adding to it, but for you down low, scoring more in the paint area, being able to see your team knock down those shots from behind the arc.
It's just great. Like they made my job even easier. You know, yeah. Just giving it to them, like giving them the ball, you know, every single one of them, they knocked it down with confidence. Like even the players that may not have had as much confidence in the 3-point line, they were shooting them, you know, and they kept shooting, and that just made me proud. And like being able to do that for the program is just amazing.
Yeah, and now in your senior season here in Tallahassee, Florida State, 4 years. Let's go back a little bit and tell me about when you started playing basketball, maybe who some of your mentors were early on that got you into the game.
I would say like my dad, like he really helped me, you know, just become the player that I was, and like my AAU coach, and just being able to recognize like in high school that I was a pretty good player, and, you know, just to keep my dream alive, and, you know, be the first person to play D1 basketball in my family. Just been amazing, you know, just gonna keep working hard.
Yeah, and what a career indeed. And you said still working hard, still more to go in this season. I was going to ask you about maybe a memorable moment from your career. I had that plan a little while ago. I'm maybe that's changed now after yesterday's game. I'm not sure. I'll ask you. Would you say that's the memorable moment of your career?
Yeah, it is. Like that. I'm still thinking about it today. So.
Oh, well, that's awesome, KK. Again, it's just so fun to watch always. Both sides of the ball, scoring, defense. It's a little bit everything. When you're watching your team play, when you're out there with how fast-paced this offense is, how do you feel about that style going up and down the floor?
I like it. It's fun. We're able to just get up and down and, show people who we are. It's just we're a special group, and I'm just excited to just keep going, see how far we can go in the March Madness and be top 5 in ACC.
Absolutely. Well, we're talking a lot on the floor as well. I got to go off the court a little bit more right now. And what KK Timpson likes to do off the court. I know you like to fish. Well, we got a video, too, from when you guys all went on your trip earlier on in the season. Take me through this day, what it was like to spend with your teammates. Maybe teach them a little thing or two on the water.
It was nice, Well, my group, we didn't do as well as the other groups, but it was just amazing just to see the thing that, fishing is what I love. Seeing them have fun, it just made me happy. Just seeing them love what I do.
Yeah, you may have to help me fish too, because I struggle there. Also, maybe basketball as well. I struggle there. Your head coach saw me taking some shots up before one of the games, and it was not too pretty. But hey, KK, again, just thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Again, you see the photos up on the screen there from that day. A really special time that you got to spend all together. But congratulations to you for yesterday's performance, history, and I'm sure a lot more to come.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it. So that is KK Timpson. Another round of applause for her and the incredible achievements yesterday with our double record, the most in a career in program history. Hey, one more segment coming up on Inside Seminole Basketball. Head coach Brooke Wyckoff will join me to close out the show. Don't leave us yet. We'll be back after this break.
Behind the scenes.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm.
Florida. Home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Hey, Seminole fans, this is Jeff Culhane, voice of Florida State men's basketball. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Who wouldn't want to have that at night? Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official.
Live from Glory Days Grill, this is Inside Seminole Basketball.
All right, welcome back in. One more segment to round out the show with head coach Brooke Wyckoff here at Glory Days Grill. We got to thank Glory Days Grill as the host of Inside Seminole Basketball on Monday nights during basketball season from 7 to 8 p.m. for an all-star selection of food, drinks, and to hear from Florida State basketball players and staff. So thank you so much. Glory Days Grill is the host location of Inside Seminole Basketball. So, Coach, one more. Here we go. The final stretch, the home stretch I want to look a little bit ahead here to next season. And a recruiting class coming in and a couple recruits, Panya Davis and Mari Gurton. You talk about the #1 rated JUCO player and also a top 100 player in Mari Gurton. Tell the fans and tell the people who they can expect to see here in Tallahassee next year.
Yeah, I'm really excited about these two. I think they'll be great additions to our team. Panya Davis is a 6'6", scoring, defending, shot blocking. We got some big shoes to fill when KK leaves. So she will be coming in to try and fill those shoes. But she's a fantastic player, and I know our fans will really enjoy watching her play. And then Mari Gurton, a freshman, just another dynamic guard. Again, will be saying goodbye to Omaria Gordon. So Mari Gurton is coming in to be one of those attackers for us. She's a great scorer as well, fast and just a really talented basketball player. So excited about both of them, and I know our fans will be too.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll be here in Tallahassee next year. I want to ask one more about your team and maybe what those recruits can expect to see next year. Some of the traditions or rituals that you guys have as a team that you guys do that you would want to share.
Oh boy. We do shooting warm up every day. We shoot a lot of shots, don't we, KK? They can expect to come in. I think that's one of the things, and it leads to, great shooting nights, is that we practice every single day. Every single one of our players, including our centers like Makayla, Timpson, we shoot the ball. We shoot the ball, and as well as working on defense and all the other things. But that's one thing that we have our rituals and practice, the way we prepare, the way we develop our players. Just as individual basketball players, they can expect to do that on a daily basis.
Yeah, we're coming right to the end here, Coach. I was going to ask you the same thing I asked KK before, maybe what your most memorable moment was from this season. I don't know if it's that one yet, but a quick one for you to close out the show.
Oh, man. I don't know. There's been so many. I mean, really, this team is so special that it sounds cliche, but every time we get a win, every moment that we go through where I see them fighting adversity, pushing through, continuing to push forward, embracing hard things, that's a memorable moment for me. I cherish every single one of them.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Another round of applause for head coach Brooke Wyckoff here on our special edition of Inside Seminole Basketball. Thank you so much all for coming out tonight and tuning in. Thank you to Seminole Productions for the fantastic job that they've done tonight and all season. I'm Jack Kavovit signing off and saying so long and go Noles.